That's the theme from the Sears Radio Theater. Tonight, a program of mystery with Vincent Price as your host. Here's a preview.
In order for me to help you in any way, you must believe.
In you?
Oh, not in me. In the power that operates through me.
Oh, make me believe, Miss Rabbit. Make me believe. Make my son live.
The Sears Radio Theater will begin after this message from your local station.
This is Vincent Price. From the beginning of our story, we should be made to understand certain things. If, for example, you have a problem, a soulful problem, one that strays beyond the recognized boundaries, remains aloof from the normally available resources, then we should understand that there are other forces, something else that can be asked to serve. Fragrant powders, clairvoyant bones, cautiously mixed remedies, herbs, and scented candles with icy flames that burn for 7 days, blessed by holy mouths filled with supernatural language, can be sought out. The powders, bones, roots, herbs, and candles can be found in the shadowed spaces that leak ancient rites nourished by African blood. In crippled veins filled with stone and steel now, but still carrying a clear message from ancestors whose bones have found in the new world old bodies in which to live and advise.
Zuli. Who is it?
It's me, Miss Rabbit. Glenda.
What are you doing out this late, Glenda Dugan? I thought I told you.
I just had to see you, Miss Rabbit.
It's about Danny, ain't it?
Yeah. I won't ask you how you knew. I need help, Miss Rabbit, and you're the only one I know who can
Sit down and tell me about it while I brew us a little tea.
And thus our story begins.
Sears Radio Theater, a new adventure in radio listening. 5 nights of exceptional entertainment every week, brought to you in Elliott Lewis' production of the Sears Radio Theater. Our story, Voodoo Lady, by Odie Hawkins. Our stars, Helen Martin, Kim Hamilton, and Robin Braxton. The Sears Radio Theater is brought to you by Sears, Roebuck and Company. Sears, where America shops for value.
There are many formerly thought to be unknowable areas of wisdom. Those places from which intuition and karma flow, and a kind of common sense expertise. Miss Rabbit, a student of the unknown, applies her knowledge to known problems.
Here's your tea.
That smells good.
Now then, go on. What's this about Danny?
Well, I don't know how to come right out and tell you.
Don't rush. Take your time, honey.
It's like this, Miss Rabbit. You know Danny and I have been married for 9 years.
I remember when you moved into the neighborhood.
You remember that?
We
just got married and decided to leave New Orleans because Danny thought that...
I remember all that. Now go on about this other thing.
Well, what I was going to say was... Well, we've never really had too many problems, me and Danny, you know, the way some couples have. I mean, it's been kind of rough at times, like when Danny lost his job and I was pregnant with Danny Jr., but here lately he stays gone a lot. He says that he's playing cards with the guys down at the club.
But you think he has another woman out there somewhere. Is that it, honey?
I know for certain he's got another woman. I found a note from her in his shirt pocket. Please help me, Miss Rabbit. We have 4 children that need a full-time father, and I really love Danny, Miss Rabbit. I really do. Will you help me?
Now, you listen to me close, Glenda Dugan. I'm not going to repeat myself. Do everything exactly the way I tell you to do, and you won't have any more problems with Danny. Leastwise, not this year, anyway. Is Danny home now?
He's supposed to be down at the club.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. Now, here's what I want you to do. When you get a chance, put 2 pinches of this powder in his coffee.
What is that, Miss Rabbit?
Woman, will you stop asking foolish questions and listen to me? You want your man to stop fooling around in the streets, don't you?
Uh-huh.
All right, then. Now, after you've put 2 pinches of this powder in his coffee, or his food, either one, makes no never mind, don't do anything else for 10 hours. And then, Glenda, are you listening to me?
I'm listening. I'm just scared. What if Danny found out I'd been to see you? What if he left me because he...
Honey, Danny ain't no different from any other man. If you do just like I say, you'll have him strolling around behind you on his eyebrows by the end of next week.
But what if he was...
No buts, what's, or ifs. Listen. The day you give him the 2 pinches of powder, don't use more than 2 because it's mighty powerful. He'll be feeling kind of low. Then you'll have a nagging headache and his stomach will be troubling him.
Miss Rabbit, Danny never has any headaches or stomach problems. He's never been sick from anything like that.
Glenda Dugan, now I'm telling you one last time. If you make it hard for me, I'm going to put you out of here and you lose that philandering rascal you call your husband.
I'm sorry, Miss Rabbit. I'm sorry. It's just that I've been so nervous and upset lately.
I know you have, honey. Now then, when he comes home feeling bad, he'll most likely want to lay down. While he's laying down, trying to get rid of his aches, take these 3 bones and toss them under the bed and sprinkle 3 more pinches of this powder around the bed. Lightly. Just lightly, mind you. If you sprinkle too much in one place, it's apt to make him go blind in his left eye for 3 days, or else he'll begin to have bad dreams every morning for a week.
I'll do exactly what you told me to do. And thanks, Miss Rabbit. I'd like to give you a little something, but since Danny messed up most of his last 2 paychecks playing cards down at the club, we've been in a bit of a tight. Not only that, Danny Jr. stepped on a nail and the doctor...
Go on, get out of here, Glenda. Do what I told you to do. And bring me one of those peach cobblers you make so good. After you brought your man back to his good senses.
That's a deal. I'll do exactly what you told me to do, to the letter.
You better. Or else you won't have a man to help you with those children. And you know how hard things are today, even with a man.
Night, Miss Rabbit.
Night, Glenda. You be careful now. There's bad vibes swirling around out there tonight.
I will. Bless you, Miss Rabbit.
Velma, are you sure you gave her the proper remedy for that situation? Are you sure your instructions covered the full use of the medicine?
I'm not exactly sure about anything. What would you advise?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I would have prescribed the same thing. Maybe not.
Well, I must say, that's not saying too much.
Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. Let's wait for the results.
You might not think it strange to hear an old woman talk to her cat, but when the cat talks back, engages in a dialogue... Interesting people have many facets like jewels. We see them in a different light whenever we turn them this way or that, or when we look at them through other eyes.
Miss Rabbit was a strange-looking woman, you know what I'm saying? She really resembled a rabbit. Not because she actually looked like one, but in a way, you know what I mean? Something very quick, kind of nervous in a manner, made you think a rabbit or some other kind of gentle animal. Well, there she was in the window of this 2-story frame house in the rear of a taller building over to one side, to which you didn't pay no attention. Your attention was pulled to the window of her apartment. There you paid attention. She always seemed to be there, especially in the warm months. And whenever she'd hear my footsteps, she'd nod politely in my direction. I'd always mumble Dybbuk to myself and then nod back with a smile yet.
She was what you might call, for want of a more precise term, a presence. I mean, there was something definitely about this lady, believe me. She'd come at you from angles that seemed impossible for her to see around or past. But she did see. For example, she'd always see you doing things that you weren't supposed to be doing. Now, some of the people in the neighborhood thought Miss Rabbit had X-ray vision, heavy TV watches, people like that.
Oh, Miss Rabbit was blind. But that wasn't something you automatically know unless you knew it. What I'm saying is this. It would have been pretty hard to tell she was blind from the way she got around. She could go anywhere in the neighborhood by feel. That's right, by feel. From time to time, whenever she decided she didn't need to use somebody else's legs, she'd ease down the steps of her place and feel her way from one end of the street to the other. If she happened to want to go to the supermarket at the far end of the block, for example, she didn't use a cane or anything. She just kind of shuffled along in her cloth slippers, one foot after another, making fairly good time, and maybe hold her hand up in front of herself whenever she got to certain places, feeling her way. The whole street got quiet when she moved. It was a little bit like watching a sleepwalker. Her and that big old black cat of hers named Zuli. Some people thought that Zuli was leading her by some kind of vibrations or something, with this bell around his neck. He could have been leading her. Hard to say, except he was just as apt to be behind her as in front. From time to time, she'd say, Zuli? Zuli? Come on now, Zuli. Old nosy-tail Miss Brooks asked her one day, why you call that cat Zuli, Miss Rabbit? 'Cause that's his name, she answered, and kept right on stepping.
She was more an independent person, you know. I mean, like, she didn't take no stuff from nobody. If there was one thing that everybody in the neighborhood agreed on, it was Miss Rabbit's independent ways. The other thing was what you might call Honduras or depth. For Honduras took in a lot of ground. She could listen to a problem and give you the solution if she felt you were open. Otherwise, she'd suggest a solution. My grandmother Sanchez used to say that she was a curandera, you know? A lady with a curse.
I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with being from New Orleans, where people still believe in lots of stuff that other people have forgotten about or never knew. Stuff about Marie Laveau and Mama Pleasant. I can't honestly say which it is. All I know is this. Miss Rabbit could explain your dreams to you. I caught her 3, 6, 9, 5 times playing my dream the way she explained it to me. She could make your bad luck go away if you promised to do right. She could make up stuff for you. You know, for different things. If you were righteously sincere, she could throw the bones for you to give you an idea of what your future would be like, or stir your mind around. But more than anything else, she could pray for you. One of the heaviest things anyone on the block could say was, Ms. Rabbit's praying for me. It was even said at one time that she was praying for the preacher. No need to mention his name at this late date, but we can be certain that he thanked the Lord for Ms. Rabbit's prayers, especially at that point in time of his life. But it was something. How everybody went to her when they needed advice or whatever. It was something I never forgot, even after Ms. Rabbit and Zuli disappeared.
Who is it?
You don't know me, Miss Rabbit. My name is Edna Barnes, and I live north of here in Hyde Park.
What do you want?
I'd like to talk to you about a serious problem I have.
Who sent you to see me?
Nobody sent me. Please let me talk to you for a few minutes.
Well?
I can't see. May I turn on a light?
Oh, sorry about that. Being blind, I kind of forget about things like that sometimes.
Oh, I understand.
Well, what is it? You begged your way in here. Now, what do you want?
Please, Miss Rabbit, don't be angry. I know it's not right to intrude on you like this, but...
How did you know to come to see me with your problem?
Well, whether you know it or not, you do have a reputation.
Oh?
I'll put it this way. Some of the people you've helped in different ways know about you. I know about you from...
Let's skip all that stuff and get to the point. What's the matter with your son?
My son?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, my son. How did you...
Get to the point. I'm an old lady, and it's 10:30.
Oh, the reason why I'm here...
You do have a reason for being here, don't you?
Yes. My baby Vernon is almost 9 months old, and he's in the hospital dying.
Of what?
I don't know. The doctors don't know. They've written failure to thrive all over his charts, and all the doctor can say is that his vital signs are deteriorating. The tests they've made don't show any physical reason why he's dying. They can't explain it except by giving me some kind of percentage double talk. 1/3 or 1/5 or 10% of some babies just don't thrive, as they say. Now, none of that means anything to me. It's my son that they're making percentages out of. It's Vernon, the baby I had, and I want him to thrive. I'll pay you.
Oh, I ain't ask you for any money.
I'll do anything. What will you take? What will it take to bring my baby into a full life? You don't know what it feels like to be a mother.
I may not be a mother, but I am a woman. And I know a little bit about how it feels to be handicapped.
You'll help me?
What can I do?
You can make him live.
Well, I could try to make him live.
Now, I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel, Miss Rabbit. I've heard what I've heard about you from people who believe that you can make things happen. I don't happen to believe in spirits or stuff like that, but I want my son to live.
Do you believe in God?
I used to.
We have a problem, honey. In order for me to help you in any way, you must believe.
In you?
Oh, not in me. In the power that operates through me.
Oh, make me believe, Miss Rabbit. Make me believe. Make my son live.
Oh, Zuli, stop that.
Well, I must say, Thelma, you really put your foot in it this time. What in the world possessed you to promise that woman you could make her child live? It's that kind of arrogance that cost you your sight.
Do you have to remind me?
I have no choice. A price must be paid for serious mistakes, and the price can be high, as you well know.
Well, it's too late for me to make all those considerations now. Will you help me?
The price will be high. Very high. Are you willing to pay?
As you said, I put my foot in it. I made a promise that I must keep.
The price will be high.
What will it be?
I don't know yet. The books have to be checked to determine what the cost is for such an intercession. But it won't come cheap. You know that.
Miss Rabbit, the Voodoo Lady, has made a promise. The infant child will recover, will be a healthy baby, able to live a long life. But once the promise was made, Zuli the cat cautioned her, warned her, there would be a terrible cost.
Now, who could that be out on a night like this? Yes? Who's there?
Me, Miss Rabbit, Glenda.
Come on in. Come on in. I want to check to death of cold out there.
Thanks. It is kind of wet out.
Well, I was just about to have a cup of sassafras tea. You want a cup?
That would hit the spot.
How have you been? How's Danny doing? Or is it too soon to say? And where's that cobbler you were going to bring me?
Everything's all right, I guess.
Don't sound like everything's all right. What's the problem now?
It's not exactly what you'd call a problem. Well, what I mean is...
Go on, honey. Let's hear it, whatever it is.
I haven't had time to make that cobbler.
Oh, is that what you came over here in the rain to tell me?
Well, not exactly. I can't stay but a minute.
What's wrong with you, Glenda Dugan?
It's about Danny. Miss Rabbit, Danny is head over heels in love with me again.
Why, that's wonderful, honey. Well, that's what you wanted, wasn't it?
It's what I wanted, to have my man back. But
what?
well, it's like Danny is on a honeymoon all by himself. He sends the children to the movies all the time. They've been sent to the movies every evening this week.
Well, I'll be. Glenda, are you sure you didn't put but 2 pinches of powder in Danny's coffee?
2 pinches in his coffee and 3 around the bed.
And the bones? How did they land when you tossed them under the bed?
How did they land? I don't understand what you mean.
When you tossed those 3 bones under the bed, how did they land? Did they spread out like a fan or form a letter or what?
I don't know. I didn't look. I just chucked them under there and scooted away. I didn't want Danny to catch me.
Glenda, go on back home, honey, and uncross those bones.
What?
Where's Danny now?
He's at home taking a nap.
And the children are at the picture show.
And the children are at the movies.
You go on back home while he's taking his nap and uncross those bones. Now, what happened is this. I'll bet you a butter roll to a donut is that 2 of those bones have crossed each other. For all I know, all 3 of them might have gotten piled up under there. It's been known to happen.
Miss Rabbit, I'll bring you that cobbler this Saturday, first thing. I was really beginning to get worried.
Oh, you bring those bones back when you uncross them. It's not too likely you'll be needing them anymore this year. Julie, is that you?
Meow. Yes, it's me.
Where have you been?
You know where I've been.
Well,
I told you the price would be high.
like everything else these days.
How is the child?
Worse than before. The doctors won't say it, but Edna Barnes thinks they've given up. They're just going through the motions.
What about you?
I've done everything I can do.
Everything?
Not everything I know how to do. I don't seem to be able to come up with the right combinations. I've spoken to the numbers, sent Molly messages out.
There is a way to save the child.
I made a commitment to save him. His mother believes now that I'm the only one who can. I feel a heavy weight on
I said there is a way, if you're willing to make the sacrifice.
I gave my eyes for another life years ago. What now? My life for the child's life?
Not exactly.
Well, tell me. What?
Vincent Price again. And here's the concluding act of Voodoo Lady.
I've done every single thing you asked me to do. I brought you a photograph of my baby, clippings from his fingers and toes, 2 snips of his hair, spit from his mouth even. And what happened? Not a damn thing.
Edna, calm down. These things take time.
He doesn't have time. He's dying. Don't you understand? My son is dying, and you sit here talking about time.
He still has a chance.
Yes, I believe he still has a chance. I'll have to believe he has a chance until he dies. But I won't have you to thank for saving him.
Now, honey, you just have to...
You asked me to believe, to have faith in you.
In the power that operates through
Whatever. Well, I did have faith, but I don't anymore. My beliefs have changed. I believe that you are an old, dirty, rotten, stinking fraud. You gave me the impression that you could perform some kind of miracle, and it hasn't happened. I hate people like you, Miss Rabbit. All of you are just the same. You offer hope and never deliver.
Edna,
Take your hands off me, you old creep.
What went wrong? What did I do wrong? Why won't my medicine work? Will you please stop teasing me? Tell me, why doesn't he get well?
Maybe it's because you haven't offered the right sacrifice.
Why don't you stop beating around the bush and say what you have to say?
I am saying it. I am saying it.
I guess I'm not understanding you too well.
maybe you don't want to understand me.
There was something I understood about myself many years ago when I was a girl growing up in the deep South. I understood that I was strange. I would have to say strange because I can't think of a better word to use. From the earliest time I can remember, I was always able to speak with plants, young trees especially. My mother once caught me having a serious conversation with a rose bush that grew out beside our front porch. Being a very wise lady, she didn't make a big stink about it. She just made me understand. She suggested that I shouldn't talk with the flowers while anyone else was around. They probably wouldn't understand. My daddy discovered my healing powers when he broke his leg one day. He'd taken me out hunting with him. Oh, I didn't like the idea of killing anything, but I liked being out in the woods with my daddy. Hopping over a big log, he got his foot tangled in some roots and stumbled to the ground. Both of us knew he had broken something. He knew it because he could feel it. And I just knew it. I don't know how I knew it, but I did. I knew exactly where the break was. Thelma, run on back to the house and tell your mother to get help for me, he said, his face all scrunched up with pain. Don't worry, Daddy, I told him, and placed both of my hands on the place that was broken. A kind of heat began to flow through my hands after a few minutes. It was as though I wanted my father's leg to be healed so badly, I was doing it with my bare hands, with this heat that seemed to melt the bones back in place. He felt it, too. And after a little while, he stood up. He limped a few steps and said to me very quietly and respectfully, Thelma, you have healing powers. You healed my leg. Well, I was so weak I had to stay in bed for a week after that. We never spoke about me healing his leg again. But from time to time, whenever one of the animals on our place got sick, Daddy would always ask me if I could do something. Truth is, sometimes I could and sometimes I couldn't. It seemed to depend on how much I liked the animal. I must have saved the old milk cow we had, shouldn't it? About 5 times. I knew I wasn't possessed by any devil. But at one point, I did think I was crazy. It had to do with the voices that kept bringing me so much information. It was like somebody was always whispering in both my ears at the same time. The county authorities showed up one day and took me away. My mama and Daddy fought as hard as they could for 10 years to get me out of the Filona home for the insane. And then they both died within 6 months of each other. My daddy first, heartbroken. It was while they were holding my body captive in that place that I lost my sight. Oh, I'd become arrogant about my powers and made a rash statement to one of my friends in the home who needed help. Jenny, I bet my eyeballs and all the sight inside that I'd have you cured by nightfall. Now, Jenny had been bitten by a rabid squirrel on the grounds of the institution, and within a week died a horrible death. The hospital attendants just took it for granted that she had simply become more insane than usual and strapped her into a straitjacket and left her to die alone. It wasn't until 2 more people had been bitten that they discovered their mistake. Meanwhile, because of what I said, a sight left me. Like I went to sleep one night, and when I woke up, it was still night. A couple of years later, sitting in the sun on one of those cold stone benches they had at the home, I felt a ball of warm fur rub against my leg and whisper to me, "It's time for you to leave this place. We have work to do."
I knew I had to save her from a false destiny after she lost her sight. It was obvious that she was taking psychic risks because she lacked a sense of spiritual proportion, the kind of perspective that could only be attained by developing control of her powers. I was tempted to leave her alone, to simply enjoy my vacation in the home for the insane, away from the day-to-day pressures of the unreal world. But after I found that she had been there for 12 years, I decided to help her out. Maybe it had something to do with being so very much older than she, but I found her relative sense of innocence charming and quite appealing, even when she has been guilty of placing false obstacles in the way of understanding each other.
I have to ask you this one thing before...
What do you want to know?
What is the biggest change,
Well, different people experience different things. I suspect for you, seeing again will be the greatest change.
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
As sure as I'll ever be.
Good. Come, kneel beside me. No, not like that. Like this. Now, take a deep breath and arch your back. Stretch your paw. Your hands out in front of you, as though you were reaching for something right in front of you, but you can't quite get to it. That's it. Now, yawn as hard as you can. Stretch your mouth as wide as you can open it, and close your eyes as tightly as you can. Good. Now, resettle your body in a kneeling position, like me. Good. Now, relax. Relax completely.
Miss Rabbit? Miss Rabbit, open up. Please open up. Oh, the door's open. Miss Rabbit, where are you? My son's going to live. Did you hear me? My son's going to live. I wonder where she could be this early. The door was open. Guess she went for a visit. I'll leave her a note. Dear Miss Rabbit, my son will live because of some unexplainable something that happened last night. The doctors are just simply shaking their heads and mumbling a lot of big words all over the place. They are as mystified as I am. But I feel that you and I know more than they do. We know everything they don't know. Last night, sitting at my baby's bedside, I could almost feel life flow into my son's hospital room and into his body at one point. And I knew your power was at work. Now, being a modern black woman, I have to admit, I question everything. Always have. I'm really sorry I called you the names I called you and talked to you the way I did. My behavior was completely off base. But I hope you'll find it in your heart to forgive me. This was to have been the third child to be lost to me, and I just couldn't bear it. I just couldn't. My baby will be out of the hospital next week. I'll bring him over for your blessings, if you can forgive me for doubting your power. Till then, Mrs. Edna Agnes Barnes.
Miss Rabbit? That's funny. She never leaves her door open. Maybe she's in bed. Miss Rabbit, it's Glenda. I brought you a beautiful cobbler. Come look at how... Come smell it. I put some cinnamon in the crust. Not in the bedroom. Wonder where she could be. What's this? A note from Edna Barnes. How stupid can some people be? How does she expect a blind person to read a note? Oh, hi, Zooey. Where's Miss Rabbit? Uh-oh. Looks like you brought yourself a girlfriend home out of the rain, huh? Come here, pretty brown cat. Let me hold you. Looks like Miss Rabbit's gonna be having a house full of kittens pretty soon. Wonder where she could be. Oh, well. She has her cobbler and 2 cats to take care of, and I got laundry to do.
Radio Theater has been brought to you by Sears, Roebuck and Company, where our policy is satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Sears, where America shops for value. Voodoo Lady was written by Odie Hawkins, produced and directed by Elliott Lewis. Your host was Vincent Price. Our stars were Helen Martin, Kim Hamilton, and Robin Braxton. Featured in the cast were David Downing, Hans Conried, June Foray, and Ray Tasco. The music for Sears Radio Theater was composed and conducted by Nelson Riddle. This is Art Gilmore speaking. The Elliott Lewis production of Sears Radio Theater is a presentation of CVI. Tomorrow's Sears Radio Theater will be a story of love and hate with Cicely Tyson as your hostess. Let's listen.
How many times a week?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
3 times a week?
Mm-hmm.
Fame has its misfortunes. I couldn't imagine doing anything worse than having a writer's workshop full of gabby middle-aged women.
So be sure and tune in tomorrow to the Sears Radio Theater.
CBS News. The House has passed a standby gasoline rationing bill, but the Carter administration says it doesn't like it. This is Doug Poling reporting on the CBS Radio Network. By a vote of 263 to 159, the House tonight approved a bill giving the president the power to order rationing in the event of a severe shortage. But either house would have the power to veto the rationing plan, and rationing could only be imposed if the shortage reaches 20% or more for at least 30 days. The White House said it is disappointed the House has been unable to agree on a direct and clear bill. A statement also said the bill clearly needs improvement before the president can sign it. The rationing bill okayed tonight now has to go to the Senate, where other changes are expected. About 700 gasoline retailers demonstrated outside the White House today, protesting new pricing policies set by the Department of Energy. Dealers said the policies do not allow them enough of a profit margin. In Minneapolis, Ken Weingart of the Independent Gasoline Retailers of Minnesota said the Energy Department is going from bad to worse.
All this confusion, all this mess with energy, the whole thing stems from the Department of Energy. They just keep sinking deeper and deeper into the mire, and they can't get themselves out, so they come up with some more crazy rules. If they leave the petroleum industry alone, it would take care of itself. We might have some spot problems for a while, and then the whole thing would settle down. You wouldn't have any of these problems. We had none of these problems before the DOE came into being.
Some dealers also criticized new rules that will allow them to charge customers for such services as airing tires and honoring credit cards. They said that would just alienate customers. Heavy thunderstorms pounded sections of Indiana today, triggering flash floods. 2 people were killed about 70 miles south of Indianapolis. In Mooresville, 20 miles south of Indianapolis, a tornado touched down in a mobile home park, toppling 2 trailers and injuring 2 men. There have been reports of serious illness connected with 2 of the best-known milk substitutes for babies. The manufacturer is now halting production. Details reported by Charles Crawford.
The 2 widely sold infant formulas implicated are Neo-Mul Soy and Cho or Cofree, spelled C-H-O. Both are soybean-based products used to feed infants allergic to milk-based formulas. Nationwide, 31 cases of illness have been reported among infants fed the formulas. The babies suffered symptoms including high fever, excessive vomiting, diarrhea, and growth retardation. FDA officials have met with the manufacturer, and the company has notified some 23,000 U.S. physicians of the problem. In addition, the company told a New York City pediatrician it has stopped manufacturing and distributing the formulas and is asking retailers to stop selling the Neo-Mul Soy and Chofree. Charles Crawford, CBS News.
House Republican leaders today proposed a $36 billion tax cut, saying they are worried about the possible depth of the recession. The GOP lawmakers predicted President Carter will ask for tax reductions in 1980 as an election year ploy, but urged an immediate cut to help the country recover from the economic downturn. Assistant Senate Democratic leader Ellen Cranston predicted today the Senate will ratify the SALT II treaty with the Soviet Union, coupled with an increase in defense spending. It was announced today in Washington a new political party called the Citizens Committee has been formed to focus on the issues of inflation and energy. Organizers say they plan to hold a national convention next year to nominate a candidate for president. One of the organizers is author and environmental...
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. This is your host to welcome you through the portals of the squeaking door for another delightfully horrible half hour with a delicious assortment of obnoxious people. Friends, I've just come from a formal dinner that was given by the Society for the Prevention of People to raise money to buy a blood bank for toothless vampires. All the gay ghouls in town were there. As for the first course, they served an ectoplasm salad with astral dressing. But the best part of the evening was the entertainment. They had a ballet of dancing skeletons doing a rumba to the beat of their own bones. It made everybody grin from ear to ear. Wouldn't you have liked to have been there?
Tonight's Inner Sanctum mystery, The Magic Tile, was written by Milton Lewis and stars Mercedes McCambridge in the role of Catherine, with Everett Sloane as Mark.
All right, friends. Let's get dreadful. Now, remember, don't scream back at the radio. It won't do you any good. All set. Then listen as we hear Catherine Brine tell us this story in her own words.
A flash of lightning, like a giant white electric light, lit up the sky that night as I went up the walk. And Brine Mansion looked like a huge gabled tomb standing there on the hill, its towers, two huge skeleton arms, stretching up into the black, sullen sky. For a moment I wanted to run as far and as fast as I could from this house where I was born. And I wish now that I had. But much as I hated it, I had come back. Not because I lived there, not because I wanted to be there, but because in this house I should find out if I was going to live or if I was going to die. I let myself in quietly and made my way to the living room. Then there was a rustling of skirts, and my mother suddenly appeared in the dim, shadowy light.
Cassie, dear.
Hello, Mother.
You're so late, I was becoming worried.
Oh? Was my stepfather worried, too?
Why, yes, dear. Mark is still up. Here, you've got to take your coat off. It's so through.
No, don't you touch me.
Cassie, darling.
And don't start sniveling over me again, Mother. I can't stand it.
I was just trying to help you.
Yes, you're always trying to help me, aren't you? Why didn't you think of helping me before you married that man upstairs? No. You're such a pretty woman, Mother. You couldn't possibly be without a husband. What would people say?
Catherine, please, you can't go on like this.
No, I can't. I can't go on very much longer without destroying myself.
You mustn't say such things.
And why not? It would make you and Mark very happy if I should die, wouldn't it, Catherine? Nobody in this house wants me to go on living.
Good evening, Catherine.
Mark, I didn't know you were here.
I'm aware of that. I heard you.
Mark, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean a word of it.
Oh, but I did. And now that you're both here, there's something that I've got to find out tonight. It's very important.
What is it?
10 years ago, my father died.
Catherine, we can't discuss that now.
We've got to. I've got to know certain things.
Why?
Because if I don't, something dreadful might happen to me.
Now, Catherine, you're exaggerating.
Dr. Wells doesn't think so. I've been going to him for months now. And he knows that there's grave danger that I'll go completely out of my mind if I don't find out about this.
My poor
No,
darling.
don't pity me, Mother. Help me. Tell me how my father died. You know you were there, Catherine. Don't try to put me off. You've lied to me about my father's death ever since I was a child.
But, Catherine, there's nothing to tell. Your father was killed in an accident. He was a doctor.
That will be enough, Lola.
But, Mark...
We'll call Dr. Wells the first thing in the morning and discuss this matter with him.
Why don't you let her tell me? What have you got to hide?
We're not going to discuss this until I speak to Dr. Wells. Lola, I suggest you come upstairs as soon as possible. Good night, Catherine.
Mother? He's gone. You were going to tell me. Where was this accident, Mother? How did it happen? Who was involved?
Cassie, you're in no state to hear anything right now. Mark was right. We should speak to Dr. Wells about it first.
Yes, speak to him. So that you can both make up an appropriate lie to tell me. Well, I don't want any lies. I want the truth about it, Mother. And I'm prepared to go to any length to get it. Look at this, Mother.
No, Catherine.
Look at it, I tell you. Look at it.
What is it?
A woman told this to me today. A strange little woman.
It's a sort of tiny painted tile.
It's not just an ordinary tile, Mother. Comes from the Orient, the woman said. And you see this odd design? Well, if you look at it long enough, a strange thing will happen. You'll find yourself able to talk to the dead, to see them wherever they are, and to touch them.
Catherine.
And I'm going to talk to my father.
You can't be serious.
If you won't tell me what I want to know, then the dead will. My mother left the room, and I sat down in front of the fireplace as I used to when I was a child. I looked at the tile, at the design, and parallel lines and dots seemed to dance before my eyes. I stared at it. It seemed to hold me, to control my gaze. And then almost at once I felt an icy chill in the air, and the design vanished. In its place, there was black, infinite space filled with shadows, and still shadows beyond shadows. And then I noticed a speck of gray come out of the blackness, with a strange, sulphurous odor, and it came toward me, at first very slowly, and gradually faster and faster, as though it were coming to me through endless years of space. Suddenly there was an ear-shattering thunderclap. A streak of lightning zigzagged through the room in an insane dance. And then I heard the front door close. I heard footsteps approaching. I turned around, faced the doorway, and then I saw him.
Don't scream.
Who are you?
You're Kathy Brine.
You know me?
I did, 10 years ago. How strange this house has become. As though deep in the heart of it, something started to rot and decay. It was not like this when I saw it last.
Where did you come from?
Tell me, how do I appear to you?
How you appear?
Yes, please.
You have white hair, a white beard. But your eyes... No, it can't be.
What can't be? That my eyes are the eyes of a corpse? That I look more like a dead man than a living one?
Yes.
That should not be so strange.
Oh. Who are you? Where did you come from?
Where is your mother?
Upstairs. In her room.
And her husband, I heard she'd remarried.
He's upstairs, too. Did you know my father?
Dr. Brine? Very well indeed.
How did he die? I want to know that.
He was murdered.
Murdered?
Yes, murdered.
How do you know?
I saw it all.
You saw it?
I was punished for it.
You murdered murdered him.
No. I did not kill him. He was the only friend I had in the world. That's why I came back here tonight, you see. Didn't you ever know how your father died?
No.
Would you like to know?
Yes, more than anything in the world.
He was the kindest of men. And that's what led to his destruction. He took a man under his care, a man who'd been given up as a raving maniac. And rather than see this man placed in an institution, he kept him in the guest cottage of his house.
Wait. I remember now. That man was a poet.
Yes. His name was Dennis D'Amour. Your father believed this man was a great poet and struggled to save him.
Did this man murder my father?
No. One evening, when your father came in to treat D'Amour, there was a third man in the darkened cottage. This man leaped at your father and drove a knife into his back. The poor madman, frightened, ran over the countryside until he was caught by the police. And he was charged with the murder of your father.
You said that you saw all of this.
I did.
Then you're the
madman, Dennis D'Amour.
You're dead?
Perhaps I am.
Oh. And the murderer. Who was the person who murdered my father?
You know him quite well. He's the man who's now married to your mother, Mark Weldon.
Can you prove this?
Your father is the only one who can prove this.
My father? Can you bring my father back here?
Bring him back?
You came back. If you could only bring him and prove this.
Prove it? Perhaps I can. Perhaps I will bring him back tonight.
Just then there was a tremendous thunderclap, and the electric light failed. I tried to see him by the firelight, but he wasn't in the room. I ran to the door, stumbling over furniture in the darkness and screaming for him to wait. I opened the front door, but he wasn't there. And when I came back into the living room, my mother was there, and with her was Mark Weldon. Cosy, we heard you screaming. Did you, Mother?
What happened?
I found out how my father died.
Really? How?
He was murdered.
Did you tell her anything?
No, not a word, Mark, I swear. Cosy, how did you find out?
I told you how I'd find out.
That tile?
Yes, that tile, Mother. It works.
That's impossible.
Of course you'd say that. But I discovered tonight that you, Mark, you murdered my father. You cleverly arranged that a poor patient of his named Dennis D'Amour would be arrested for the crime that you committed.
Who told you this?
Dennis D'Amour.
D'Amour? Was he here?
Yes. And he told me everything.
And you believed him?
Why shouldn't I?
Why, the man's a maniac. I don't know how he ever got here. He should be at the State Institution for the Criminally Insane.
Number, please.
Hello, operator. Will you put through a call to the State Institution for the Criminally Insane at Blyton? I wish to speak to whomever is in charge. And call me back as soon as you get them. It's urgent.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Thank you. Catherine, you actually claim you spoke to this man?
Yes, Mark. And he told me that he saw you murder my father.
You're lucky you escaped with your life. The man's a homicidal maniac. I find it shocking that you should even begin to believe this fantastic story.
But it seems to be true, Mark, doesn't it? My father was murdered, and Dennis D'Amour was sent away for the crime.
Yes, that part of it is true, but to accuse me...
He not only accuses you, Mark, but he's going to prove it.
How?
By bringing my father back here.
Laura, we've tolerated her in this house for... Hello.
Hello, this is Dr. King, night supervisor of State Institution.
Oh, hello. This is Mark Weldon speaking. Has one of your patients, Dennis D'Amour, escaped?
Dennis D'Amour, the poet?
That's right, a homicidal maniac.
Well, he hasn't escaped, Mr. Weldon. He was one of the patients who was killed in a fire that broke out in this place 2 years ago.
What's that?
Well, didn't you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I heard you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Mark, what is it?
Dennis D'Amour. He's dead. He was killed 2 years ago.
Well, friends, how'd you like to have a little Chinese tile that can produce dead men for you? Or don't you think that Dennis Demore is a ghost? Maybe you think he's just an old pop-eyed poltergeist. Well, we'll know in a moment, as we hear Catherine Bryan tell us the second half of her weird story.
My stepfather's hand trembled as he hung up the phone. Even in the red glow of the firelight, I could see that his face had suddenly turned snow white. My mother said nothing, but she stared at him as he went to the desk and lit one of the kerosene lamps which we use when the electricity fails at Bryan Mansion.
It's impossible. The dead can't come back. Unless you're making up this whole thing, Kathy.
Why should I invent a story like this?
Because you've always been insanely jealous. You've always hated your mother for marrying me. Isn't that true, Laura? Isn't it?
Yes, it's true.
There. You see, Catherine? Your mother loves you. She wouldn't lie. Now, tell us the truth. You made up this whole wild tale about Dennis Demore, didn't you?
No, Mark, I didn't invent it. Dennis Demore was here.
He couldn't have been. He's been dead for 2 years.
Then how would I know the things I told you?
I don't know. That's what you've got to explain.
Mark, why does this upset you so? If you didn't murder my father, what difference does it make about Demore? Why are you so frightened?
I'm not frightened. I'm just determined to get to the bottom of this thing. What was that?
Just the thunder, Mark.
Laura, why are you looking at me like that?
Like what?
Staring at me. As though you've just seen me for the first time. Do you believe this mad story Catherine's told us? Do you think I murdered her father?
I just remembered certain things, Mark. I can't help it if I think of them now.
What things? Tell me what things?
2 days before the murder, you told me you were in love with me. I sent you away. I told you never to come to this house again.
Yes, go on.
On the night of the murder, I saw you standing in the moonlight near the guest cottage.
You did?
I thought I was mistaken, especially since you claimed you were at home that night. Mark, now don't be angry with me. I can't help thinking of these things now. It's only natural.
Natural? Is it natural for a man's wife to accuse him of a crime like murder? And on the basis of what? The word of a psychopathic girl who should have been confined long ago. She talked to a man who's been dead for 2 years. I suppose you believe that, too. And who is this man, even assuming that he is alive? A madman, a homicidal maniac who took your first husband's life when your husband tried to kill him. Well, I've had enough of this.
Mark, what are you taking out of that drawer?
Kathy, come here.
Why? Mark, put that gun away.
Shut up, Laura. Kathy, I won't hurt you unless you try something dangerous. I'm holding this gun because I believe your mother and I are no longer safe in the same room with you. Now, I want the truth. You were lying to us before, weren't you?
No.
Very well, then. Who is this man you saw? I'd like to see him, too.
I don't know.
Of course you don't, because he doesn't exist.
He does. He appeared when I looked at the Chinese tile.
The Chinese tile? Good, good. Look at your Chinese tile now. Make him appear.
Well, you're trying to make a fool of me, a liar.
You do as I tell you. Look at that tile. Go on.
All right. I will.
Now, what do you see?
Nothing. But the design.
Yes, and that's all you're going to see.
No. The design is fading. It's getting dark. Dark. Nothing but blackness. Mark, I heard the front door. Someone just came in.
Yes.
Those footsteps. That's just how he came in the last time.
Perhaps, but I doubt it.
Good evening.
Oh, it is Demore.
Do you remember me, Laura?
Yes. You've changed a great deal, but it is you.
Mr. Weldon, it's been 10 years since I've seen you.
Demore. Then you're not dead. There must have been some mistake when they identified you.
Not dead.
You escaped. Someone must have been identified instead of you. That's the only explanation.
It depends on what you choose to believe, Mr. Weldon. I brought a guest with me.
My father.
That's Brian. I'm sure you know these people quite well. Of course you do.
What's he saying? He's talking to my father.
That's right, Kathy. Unfortunately, you cannot see him. But he is here. Aren't you, Doctor?
Demore, what are you up to?
What do you think?
If you come back here to make trouble...
Trouble? No. I've come back because someone wanted to know the truth. And I brought the doctor back for the same reason. Doctor, before these others, I want you to tell us who murdered you. Who murdered you?
Look! You shot him!
Yes.
Why? Why?
He's dangerous. A maniac.
That's not the reason. It's because you murdered my father and you didn't want us to know.
All right, Kathy. I did kill him.
Mark!
It doesn't make any difference now. This maniac has planted the suspicion in your minds. You would have found out sooner or later.
Mark!
Yes, I killed him. For you, Laura. I loved him. That's over now. It's been over for a long time. I know what to do now, and it's going to be very simple, thanks to our friend lying there.
What are you going to do?
Don't you know, Laura? It's so simple. Your bodies must be found in such a condition that they will be certain Demore killed you. Then I'll tell them how I shot the homicidal maniac to protect myself.
The same way he killed my father?
Yes, Kathy.
You won't die, Kathy.
Demore?
Did you think you could kill me, Weldon?
Demore?
Do you think those shots will stop me?
No, don't you come near me. Stand back.
Nothing will stop me, Weldon.
The gun. It's empty. No, no. Let go.
I saw the bullet strike Demore. They hit him, but they didn't stop him from lurching toward Mark and seizing him by the throat. As they fell to the floor, the kerosene lamp fell off the table. It might have been the wind, but I believe otherwise. I'm almost certain it was my father. And then in a moment, the drapes were on fire and the whole place was blazing. I screamed to my mother to leave, and she ran with me out of the blazing building, out into the storm that raged outside. 2 weeks later, my mother came into the hotel room where we were staying.
I've just come from the police, Cassie.
Well, Mother?
Only one body is positively identified.
Whose?
Mark's.
The other body?
They haven't been able to find it amongst the rubble.
I don't believe they ever will.
But, Cassie, the police checked with the authorities at the state institution. It seems that some of the patients did escape at the time they had the fire there 2 years ago. It's possible that Demore was among them.
It's possible, but I doubt it.
You think Demore died 2 years ago?
Yes, Mother. Don't you? A short time later, the police found something in the ruins of the building that had once been a human being. They assumed it was the remains of Dennis Damour. Identification was impossible. However, these remains freed us of all suspicion. And now we are living in the city, a long way from Bryan Mansion, where I know that the dead come back to settle their debt with the murderer.
Well, friends, I guess you've met ghosts before, but I'm sure this is the first time you've ever met a crazy spook. Or don't you think Dennis Damour was a ghost? Well, you know, there's only one way to find out if ghosts really exist. Just ask one to haunt you sometime. And that, of course, brings us to the moral of this story, which is taken from the gibberings of graveyards. The wise old lunatic who said, if you wake up screaming in the middle of the night, close the window, don't bother the neighbors.
In just a moment, Autolite presents Suspense with Edmund O'Brien and Ann Blythe.
Say, Harlow.
Hello, Hap. Let me see now. Autolite electrical parts are original factory parts. When your car's electrical system needs attention, place safe. Get Autolite original factory parts, the choice of car manufacturers.
Harlow.
Gosh, I wish I could get a super simple slogan to sell all owners of Autolite-equipped cars on how important it is to replace worn parts on their generator, starting motor, or distributor, or for that matter, their complete coil and voltage regulator with Autolite original factory parts.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Hap, me hearty, here's the point. Whenever your car needs attention, whenever you need replacement parts, the smartest, safest thing you can do is drive down to your nearest Autolite service station or the dealer who sells your make of car and ask for Autolite original parts and service.
Well, naturally, Harlow. Let's hear some more about it later. Here's Suspense.
Suspense. Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations bring you radio's outstanding theater of thrills. Starting tonight, Mr. Edmund O'Brien and Miss Ann Blythe in Anton Leader's production of Muddy Track, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
They say to me, "Don't be bitter, Harry." Well, I'm not bitter. They say, "Forget it, Harry." That I can't do. I'll never be able to forget it, or her. How did it happen? Well, like practically every important thing that ever happens to anybody, it just happened. I was in the bar, see?
Got a match? I said got a match.
Who, me?
What's the matter? Girl shy or just match shy?
I thought you were talking to the bartender. Here you are.
Well, I'm glad we got that straightened out. What are you drinking?
Coke?
At this hour?
Clear me up on something, Angel Face. Are we trying to get acquainted with each other?
You're cute.
I'm broke, flat, busted. Go pick yourself another target.
Have a drink on me.
I only take a round when I can buy one back.
I'm not trading. I'm buying.
You could have fooled me.
I repeat, you're cute. Eddie, give my friend a bourbon. What's the matter? Been playing the nags?
Oh, you read minds, too, huh?
Simple. Track's open. That's a good suit you got on, and you've been nursing that coke for 20 minutes. Besides, your racing form's showing.
Oh, that's pretty good. How's my future look?
Depends. What do you do for a living?
I'm glad you waited for me, Brandy.
Augie.
I like you to wait for me. When you don't wait, it makes me unhappy.
Now, there was a guy I wouldn't want to see unhappy. He was friendly, all right, but he was overdoing it. Everything about him was too set, too sharp. Clothes, manicure, even his eyes, like two blue marbles.
But, Augie, you said you wouldn't be here till 10.
So? Who's this guy?
The name's Clark, Harry Clark.
Brandy, go powder your nose.
Okay, Augie, you don't have to get in an uproar. You're always getting sore.
What were you talking to Brandy about?
No kidding. Is that her name?
What were you talking about?
Believe it or not, a job.
Oh, so you're looking for a job. Where you from?
Out of town.
Tell me, you particular what you do?
Why, what's the job?
Answering the phone.
That can't pay much.
5% of the take.
What take?
I'm Augie Persian. I run the books in this town, and I've got a new setup. For you, if you want it.
Ah, a bookie, huh? It's a new one for me. Well, I don't know if... Say, why would you want to give me a job?
You want the job, or don't you?
Well, since you put it that way, Persian, we're in business.
Eddie, a couple of more drinks. What are you drinking? Bourbon?
On second thought, I think I'll switch to brandy.
Not a good idea. Brandy lovers die young.
I'll take that chance.
You've got a lot of nerve, ain't you?
Yeah, and that's all I've got. I'm flat broke. How do you feel about advances?
I don't mind them at all, so long as you keep them in cash.
I should have walked out then. It was too easy, but I couldn't kick too much. I had 25 of Persian's bucks in my pockets that guaranteed he'd pick me up in the morning like he said. was punctual. At 10:30 a.m. sharp, a big black sedan pulled up in front of my rooming house. Persian was all smiles as we drove across town to a small apartment house. He took me up to the 3rd floor to apartment 3B, opened the door, and handed me the key.
Well, this is where you work. Here's the scratch sheets, and there's the phone.
Ah, nice place. By the way, who's Eleanor Grayson?
Why?
Well, that's the name over the bell.
Oh, she lives in this apartment.
She know you're using the place?
You just answered the phone.
Yeah, but suppose she came in.
Look, you get here at 11 and pull out at 4. She'll never see you. That's the way I want it all the time, understand?
But how do I...
She thinks Brandy uses the apartment.
Does she?
You're too nosy, and you talk too much.
Is that advice?
Yeah, let's call it that. The boys have passed the word around about the new phone. You ought to be getting action pretty quick. Write up all the bets you take. I'll call you up from time to time with results. So long.
It was one of those small apartments with a pull-down bed, but it was kind of nice. The sun came in at the windows of the living room. I had it in mind to explore the kitchen for a cup of coffee, but Persian was right. The word had got around. Hello?
This is J.K. Give me 5 win, 5 show on oatmeal in the 3rd at Pimlico.
5 win, 5 show, oatmeal. Okay, J.K.
By the way, how's the track there?
Let's see. Pimlico? Raining, but still fast.
Okay, thanks.
I was in business. I still had the coffee on my mind, but I had something else on my mind, too. The picture of a girl smiling at me alongside the telephone. It was good to have company, even if it was only a picture frame, because I was beginning to develop a queer, creepy feeling. And again I thought, maybe I ought to get out. But they kept me too busy. It was almost 1 o'clock, and I still hadn't had that cup of coffee. The phone kept ringing, and the girl in the picture kept smiling. I felt kind of cold all of a sudden, maybe because I hadn't eaten all day. I headed for the kitchen, thinking there'd be some eggs at least, maybe some bacon. There was one of those swinging doors to the kitchen. I pushed it open. She was lying at the end of the kitchen, near the sink, all lumped up, her blonde hair matted with blood. I grabbed the stove to keep my legs from buckling. I was glad I hadn't eaten, but I turned her over just the same. It was Brandy. She was dead. So that's why Augie Persian hired me. And I'd called him a sucker.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you Edmund O'Brien and Ann Blythe in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Say, Harlow, is it really as important as Autolite says to replace worn-out electrical parts in my car with original factory parts?
Important? Why, by Cornelius, the Autolite people are the world's largest independent manufacturers of original factory parts for automobiles. More than 10 million cars are equipped with Autolite parts.
No.
Think of it. Generators, distributors, coils, starting motors, spark plugs, batteries, and a whole host of other automotive parts are made by Autolite. And every one of those parts is precision designed by Autolite engineers who know cars better than old Dobbin knows his oats.
Sure do.
By Cornelius, your car will take to original factory parts like ducks take to water. And listen to this, Hap. That Autolite service.
Authorized factory service, too?
Yes, authorized factory service, too, Hap. Why, those skilled Autolite servicemen are factory trained to pamper, pet, putter, and pry till they get pinpoint perfection from every electrical unit in your car. Let me tell you, that combination of Autolite original factory parts plus Autolite authorized factory service is unbeatable, unmatchable, unexcellable.
Tut, Harlow, it's time to become suspensable.
And now, Autolite brings back to a Hollywood soundstage Mr. Edmund O'Brien as Harry and Miss Ann Blythe as Eleanor in Muddy Track, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Brandy looked a whole lot different than she had last night. Her mascara had mixed with tears, and her face was bruised. Somebody had given her the backhand treatment. It had all the earmarks of a fine Persian hand. But the thing that had put her out of circulation was a blow on the back of her head. So Augie Persian had fitted me out for a murder rap. That's why he was so anxious to hire a guy he didn't know anything about. The doorbell. What could that be? I looked around. I was 3 floors up, no fire escape, no back door. All I could do was hope they'd go away. Too late.
Oh, I didn't think anybody was here.
What do you want?
Well, this is the day I clean up and change the
Not now. You can let it go until tomorrow.
But I don't usually come here tomorrow.
I said let it go.
Hi, who are you?
Never mind. Here's $1 for your trouble.
Well, thank you, but I don't think I should take it.
Make it next week. I had to force myself to wait there till I could be sure she'd gone away to clean another apartment. Finally, I let myself out, carefully. It was good to get out on the street again. People, kids. And somewhere, somebody laughed. If I hurried, I had a fair chance of getting out of town. I could keep out of Persian's way. I walked all the way to my rooming house when the thought hit me. Stopped me cold. Fingerprints. I'd left them all over the place. I started back on the double. Ran all 3 flights up to the apartment. Opened the door with the key Persian had given me. Fingerprints. I had to get rid of them all. I picked up the phone. Wiped it clean. The kitchen. I tried to keep my eyes away from her. But I couldn't help it. She looked so pitiful there on the floor. And then I noticed something clutched in her hand. A pasteboard. I carefully forced her hand open. It was a pawn ticket. I put it in my pocket and started to get up. Oh! It was the girl in the picture. She was leaning against the kitchen door, her face white with shock.
Is she dead?
Yes.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
How did you get in this apartment?
I live here.
Oh, and you're Eleanor Grayson.
Yes, who are you?
I'll ask the questions. Come on, I'm a detective. Let's get out of here. I herded her out of the apartment. She thought I was taking her down to the station, but I steered her into a chop suey joint. I ordered some tea for her. She looked like she was going to faint. She drank it. Feel better?
Oh, yes. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry to be such a bother.
I guess it was quite a shock.
No. No, not really.
What do you mean?
Brandy was a strange girl, always getting into trouble. Always getting mixed up with the wrong sort of men.
You've known her long?
All my life. We're from the same town. Came here together. Shared the apartment for a while.
Uh-huh.
She worked on the elevator next to mine in the Broadway building, but she hated it. And then one day a photographer rode in her car, and the next day she was a model. That's when she took the name of Brandy. Her real name is Evangeline. She had the face of a Madonna, but...
I know. I met her. Looked like uptown, talked like downtown.
That must be...
Yeah. Now, take it easy. Take it easy. Now, tell me, what was she doing in your apartment today?
She paid half the rent. Well, she said she needed to use the phone for modeling appointments, but I never really believed that. I needed the money. I shouldn't have let her. Now I'll get into trouble. She was killed in my apartment. Now they'll blame it on to me.
Look, why don't you go away and stay with a friend tonight? You're in no shape to go back there.
You're very understanding for a policeman.
You'd be surprised about us policemen.
You'll help me.
Well, I'll do what I can.
You promise?
Yeah, sure. Don't bank on it too much, but everything I can. It was a lousy trick to lie to her like that. Poor kid. She'd be all right. And I needed time. That siren meant that the chase had started. It was my skin I had to worry about. I put her on a streetcar, then I headed in the opposite direction on another one. I had to transfer twice to reach the spot I was bound for. The safest way to get out of town. About an hour later, in a diner on the outskirts of town, I found my boy.
Yeah, I'll give you a ride, Mac, but I ain't highballing out till midnight, and I can't pick you up here. Insurance spotters around. Know where Fremont turns into Kelso by 101?
Yeah, I'll find it.
Well, look, be there by the signal a little after 12. I'll pick you up.
I went back to my rooming house to get my stuff. My rent was paid. I wouldn't have to see anybody. I'd sure be glad to get out of this town. You made me lose a bet, Clark. He was a fat man, and he was holding a cigar. He put the cigar in his mouth, and I was conscious of dimples, 3 of them, one in his chin, one in each cheek. I had never seen him before.
Yeah, I bet you wouldn't be fool enough to come back here.
What do you want?
I'm the contented type. I hardly ever want nothing. But Augie does. Augie Persian. He wants to see you. Bad.
I didn't say anything. I didn't have any words to argue with the gun he pressed against me as we went down the stairs. There was a car about halfway down the block, a big black sedan. I knew that once I got into that car, the chances were I wouldn't climb out again. So I made a run for it. Ducked into an alley.
Don't be a sucker, Clark.
I hid behind a bulge of a chimney. As he came around, I let him have it. Oh, right in the stomach. He went down like a paper sack filled with water. He just sat there and grinned, holding onto his belly, sucking in air like an asthmatic. I ran to the other end of the alley and rolled my first 7 when I hit a bus sign advertising beds at $50 a throw. This would be my hideout until 11:30, when I'd catch my truck ride. I hit the pillow, shut my eyes. When I woke up, the sun was coming through the dirty windows. There were 2 old men talking close by.
No, sir. You don't catch me leaving town with that dragnet the cops got spread.
What time is it?
Huh? About 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock in the morning?
Well, that ain't the moon shining out there.
I'd lost my chance to get out of town. But what was worse, dragnet, he said. I had to find out. I dashed out onto the street to buy a paper, and then I discovered it. I was clean. Somebody in the flop house had rolled me. I didn't have a penny. And the newsboy hollering his head off about mysterious man sorting models killing. I couldn't afford to float around town with no dough. I couldn't afford the chance of ending up in a police lineup. And I certainly couldn't afford to let Persian get his hooks into me. There was only one other person I knew. I had to risk seeing her. I made my way to the center of town. I went through an arcade into the Broadway building and watched the elevators. She was running the second one from the right. I went up to the top floor on one of the others and got off and waited. When her car registered near the top and nobody was in the hall, I pressed the button to signal.
Down, please.
I've got to talk to you.
You're not a detective. You didn't fool me for long.
I know, I'm sorry about that, but...
Did you kill her?
What? Why would I want to kill her? I just met her last night in a bar.
But you were in the apartment leaning over.
I know it looks bad, but you gotta believe me.
That's the starter signal. I have to go.
Please, wait. I haven't got anybody to turn to but you.
They're looking for you.
I know.
The cleaning woman told... I wouldn't want you to think that I'll lose my job.
Please.
The police have been in the building all day. You'll get caught here.
You gotta believe me. I didn't kill Brandy.
I've got to go. Please, they'll catch you.
Look, I'm broke. I haven't got a nickel. You gotta help me. I gotta talk to you.
Well, here's $1. I'll try to get you more later. I get off work at 6. Meet me at the Chinese restaurant where you took me yesterday.
Okay, thanks. The buck was crumpled in my fist till I got out of the building. Then I stuck it in my pocket and discovered a little piece of paper that got there first. It was the pawn ticket. The ticket I'd taken out of Brandy's hand when I found her in the kitchen of the apartment. It might be nothing. It might be something. I had to find out. Hey, Bud.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, can you tell me where the Acme pawn shop is?
Sure, right down the block there.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, mister, not that way, the other way, the other way!
I knew which way I was going, all right, because in front of that pawn shop I'd seen a long black car, and sitting behind the wheel was Augie Persian. I spent the next 2 hours in a movie, but I don't know what the picture was about. That pawn ticket kept bothering me. And Eleanor, was she really on my side? Could I depend on her? I decided to go to the Chinese restaurant, all right, but I wouldn't go in. I'd wait a few doors down the street. If she was on the level, she'd come alone. Here I am.
What? You said the restaurant.
Hi. Are you hungry?
No.
Let's walk.
It won't be safe to walk. They're looking for
Oh,
you.
come on. We can't stand here.
Well, there's the park across the street. It'll be dark soon.
All right.
You look tired.
I am. I'm dead.
Here's a bench. Why don't we sit down?
Okay. No, maybe it isn't such a good idea.
Why not?
Well, the parks are full of cops snooping around. Maybe we'd better go, huh?
No, let's stay. Here, sit down. Oh, it's nice here.
Yeah.
Quiet. No elevators, no noise, no people.
Poor kid. I forgot. Isn't easy for you either, is it?
I'm worried about you. What are you going to do?
I don't know. If I only had something to go on. Wait a minute. There is something. I almost forgot it.
What?
The pawn ticket.
Pawn ticket?
Yeah, I found it in Brandy's hand.
Let me see it.
I got it right here.
Kiss me.
Huh?
There's a policeman. He's coming this way. Hurry up and kiss me.
I held her in a clinch until the cop's footsteps disappeared past us. Every nerve tight as a stretched tendon. And then, suddenly, the tightness was gone. And there was something else in its place. It had started out as just a prop kiss. Just a guy and a gal on a park bench. But that wasn't what it turned into. Eleanor?
Oh, Harry.
I didn't notice it before. You're beautiful.
Oh, Harry.
All day I've been running and running. Just now, 30 seconds ago, I started to slow up.
I know. There isn't much time, Harry. Please let me see the pawn ticket.
Sure, honey. Got it right here.
What's the matter?
That car down there.
Where?
Big black sedan. Look. See? Just stopped without lights. Persian's car.
Persian?
Yeah, but how did he know where I was?
Harry, give me the pawn ticket.
We got to get away from here, Eleanor. Come on.
No, wait.
Come on, don't be silly. Come on, hurry.
Stop!
What are you doing with that gun?
Never mind. Just hand over the pawn ticket.
Why are you so anxious to have it? What's this all about?
Don't ask questions. Just give me the ticket.
All right, Eleanor. Put down the gun. Go ahead. I'll give it to you.
No tricks now.
Oh, of course not. No tricks.
Oh!
Don't move, Clark. This is a gun I got, too. See if she's dead, Dimples.
Okay, Augie.
We were fighting for the gun. It went off. I don't understand why
Don't ever trust a dame, Clark. Any dame. Eleanor told us you'd be here, in the Chinese restaurant or the park. She called me.
What? She called you?
She ain't dead, Augie. But she ain't gonna live very long.
Looks like crime doesn't pay, Eleanor, huh?
Don't kill him, Persian.
Me kill Harry? Oh, no, Eleanor. You were the target for tonight.
Me?
Yeah. But you saved me the trouble.
Persian, you're crazy. You're crazy.
No, you are, Clark, for trusting her. Why don't you tell him, Eleanor? Tell him why you killed Brandy. How you'd been hacking her clothes, her jewelry. How she finally caught up with you.
I didn't mean to kill her. She found a pawn ticket, threatened to have me arrested. She slapped me and we had a fight. She fell and hit her head on the sink. I didn't know what to do. Ran away.
And just then a perfect fall guy turned up. Friend Harry here.
Oh, that's why she needed this pawn ticket.
What pawn ticket?
This one.
Huh? Well, this ties it all up. She had to have this. Even if I had fallen for her double cross and rubbed you out, this ticket would still point to her.
Harry.
What, Eleanor? Tell me.
I didn't want to. If only we'd met before,
Well, that apartment is now available for new tenants.
We better beat it, Augie.
Hey, yeah. Come on, Harry. You know, I tried to catch up to you all day to give you protection.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, I know, kid. I know. I had a girl, too.
Leave me alone.
Now, look, kid.
Leave me alone. I said, shut up. Shut up.
Thank you, Edmund O'Brien and Ann Blythe, for a splendid performance. Mr. O'Brien and Miss Blythe will be back in just a moment.
Hello. Where in the world do you get all those Autolite adjectives you throw around?
Ah, those aren't adjectives. Those are facts. And the fact is, I, old Harlow, A for Autolite Wilcox, would give a mountain of money for a meaty, memorable motto to remind America's millions of owners of Autolite-equipped cars to accept no substitute for Autolite parts. For there is no substitute for Autolite parts. So, friends, if you want really reliable electrical parts and service, drive down to your nearest Autolite service station or the dealer who sells your make of car and ask for Autolite original factory parts and service. Tell him I sent you and you'll be taken care of extra pronto.
Harlow, listen.
Autolite? You will find Autolite service stations listed in your classified telephone directory under Automotive Electrical Equipment. And remember, your Autolite electrical system is the lifeline of your car.
Right, friends. And here's something else to remember. Autolite means spark plugs.
Ignition engineered spark plugs.
Autolite means batteries.
Stay full batteries.
Autolite means ignition systems.
The lifeline of your car.
And now here again is Mr. Edmund O'Brien.
I'd like to say for Ann Blythe and myself that it's been a pleasure to appear on Suspense tonight.
That's right, Eddie. And next week we'll be listening to one of the most famous of all suspense shows, Agnes Moorehead in Sorry, Wrong Number. And that is really tops in
Suspense.
Ann Blythe appeared through the courtesy of Universal International and can now be seen in Mr. Peabody and the Mermaid, released by Universal International. Edmund O'Brien may soon be seen in Warner Brothers' Technicolor production, Fighter Squadron. Tonight's suspense play was written by Bob Shelley and Buckley Angel, with music composed by Lucian Morawek and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The entire production was under the direction of Anton M. Leader. In the coming weeks, Suspense will present such stars as Ronald Coleman, Rosalind Russell, James Cagney, Margaret O'Brien, Claude Rains, and Peter Lorre. Make it a point to listen each Thursday to Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills. And next Thursday, same time, hear Agnes Moorehead in Sorry, Wrong Number.
This is the Autolite Suspense Show. On this Armistice Day, Autolite is proud to join all America in a salute to the United States Marine Corps on its 173rd anniversary. Good night. Switch to Autolite.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.